When life breaks you down and you feel the weight of the world crushing your chest, remember this: you are still breathing, and that means the fight isn't over. No matter how many nights you've cried in silence, no matter how many times you've been betrayed, forgotten, or pushed aside, you are still here. That alone is proof that pain cannot destroy you unless you surrender. Understand this: the storms you face were never meant to bury you, they were designed to forge you into something unshakable. Every scar you carry is not a weakness, but a medal of survival. People will doubt you, they will laugh, they will walk away when you stumble, but when you rise, and you will, those same people will whisper your name with respect they never wanted to give. You cannot afford to quit. You cannot afford to let your soul rot in excuses. The world does not reward the victim, it crowns the relentless. Strength isn't born in comfort, it's born in suffering. And every time you stand back up, you declare to the universe, I will not be broken, no matter how hard it gets. You must become harder. Pain is proof of growth, not defeat. Most people spend their lives running from pain, avoiding discomfort, escaping hardship as if it were the enemy. But what they never realize is that pain is the greatest teacher, the ultimate sculptor of the human spirit. Without it, there is no strength. Without it, there is no depth. Without it, there is no greatness. Every single person who has ever achieved something extraordinary had to bleed for it, had to cry for it, had to suffer through nights of doubt, failure, and loneliness. Pain is not the signal to stop. Pain is the signal that you are moving beyond who you were yesterday and stepping into who you must become. The moment you feel pain, you must remind yourself that it is proof that you are alive, proof that your body and mind are adapting, proof that your limits are being stretched. A man who refuses pain will forever stay weak. A woman who hides from pain will never know her true power. You must embrace it because nothing that matters in life will come without it. Think about the gym. Growth doesn't happen when you lift the weight with ease. Growth happens when your muscles burn, when you tremble, when you feel like you can't push another rep, but you push anyway. That burn, that pain, is microscopic tearing that rebuilds into strength. Life works the same way. Struggle tears you apart in the moment, but it rebuilds you stronger if you refuse to quit. The heartbreak that shattered you, the failure that humiliated you, the betrayal that left you questioning every way, those moments are scars. And scars are not signs of weakness. They are proof you endured what others couldn't. Proof you stood in the fire and didn't let it consume you. Pain is the crucible of transformation. But here's the tragedy. Most people misinterpret pain. They feel hurt and they believe it means they are losing. They face hardship and they believe it means they are cursed. They stumble and they believe it means they are not meant for success. That's the biggest lie society's ever sold. The truth is, pain is a compass. It points you directly toward growth. If it hurts, it means it matters. If it burns, it means you are expanding. If it scares you, it means you are on the edge of something powerful. You must rewire your mind to see pain not as a sign of defeat, but as the currency you must pay for greatness. Nothing comes free. Every dream costs pain. Every victory demands sacrifice. Every transformation requires suffering. Look at history. The warriors who built empires, the leaders who changed nations, the thinkers who rewrote reality, they were all forged in pain. They endured exile, poverty, rejection, ridicule, and yet they used every ounce of it to rise higher. Do you think they enjoyed the sleepless nights? Do you think they loved being broken down? No. But they understood the law of life. Only those who endure the fire can carry the crown. The ones who run from pain stay in mediocrity forever, enslaved to comfort, terrified of stepping beyond their fragile shells. But the ones who endure become unstoppable. You cannot ask for strength and then pray for an easy path. You cannot demand greatness and then reject the very struggle that creates it. Pain is not your enemy, it is your ally. It is the coach that refuses to let you stay weak. It is the voice that tells you to rise again when the world has knocked you flat. It is the reminder that growth is happening beneath the surface even when you don't see it yet. Every tear, every bruise, every sleepless night, every moment you wanted to quit but didn't, all of it is stacking silently inside you, shaping a version of you the world has never seen before. There is a version of you right now that only pain can unlock, the stronger, sharper, wiser, unbreakable you. But that version cannot appear while you live in comfort, while you hide from challenge, while you avoid discomfort. To reach it, you must embrace the suffering. You must let pain do its work, because when you survive what once broke you, you realize nothing can stop you anymore. That's true freedom, not the absence of pain, but the mastery of it. So the next time life strikes you down, the next time you feel like you can't go on, the next time the weight is unbearable, remind yourself, this is not defeat, this is transformation. This is the universe demanding a higher version of you. Don't curse the pain. Thank it. Don't run from it. Face it. Don't see it as punishment. See it as proof that you are alive, proof that you are being forged into something indestructible. Pain is not here to destroy you. Pain is here to show you that you cannot be destroyed. Pain is proof of growth, not defeat. And when you truly understand that, you will never fear it again. You will welcome it because you will know that on the other side of pain is the life you've always wanted. Quitting guarantees regret. Persistence guarantees transformation. The moment you give up, the moment you throw your hands in the air and decide you've had enough, you lock yourself into a life of what ifs. That quiet torment doesn't scream. It whispers in the back of your mind when you lay down at night. It lingers when you see others succeed. It gnaws at you when you realize you had the chance, you had the opportunity, but you lacked the persistence to see it through. Regret is a disease, and quitting is the infection that breeds it. Once it settles in, it doesn't go away. You can distract yourself, bury yourself in excuses, blame circumstances, or pretend you never wanted it, but deep inside you'll know the truth. You quit, and nothing will haunt you more than knowing you were capable but unwilling. Persistence, on the other hand, transforms you. It doesn't just change your circumstances, it rewires your soul. The act of pushing forward when everything in you screams to stop is what creates strength, resilience, and unshakable confidence. Persistence means showing up when no one is watching, fighting battles that no one applauds, and working in silence while the world doubts you. It's hard, it's exhausting, and sometimes it feels endless. But every day you persist, you carve away weakness. Every moment you endure, you build a version of yourself that is stronger than failure, stronger than fear, stronger than anything that tries to hold you back. I think it's easy, anyone can do it. That's why the world is filled with people living half lives, people who stopped chasing their dreams, people who convinced themselves that mediocrity was good enough. They gave up because persistence demanded too much of them. They chose comfort over growth, excuses over sacrifice, temporary relief over long-term greatness. And now they carry the invisible weight of regret. Ask any man or woman in their final days what they wish they had done differently, and most will not say, "I wish I quit earlier." They will say, "I wish I had held on longer. I wish I had given it one more try. I wish I had persisted." That's the poison of regret. It never fades. And it never forgives. But persistence, that's where transformation lives. It doesn't matter how many times you fail if you refuse to quit. Every failure is simply a stepping stone, a lesson, written in pain, guiding you closer to success. Persistence transforms failure from a grave into a foundation. Each time you get back up, you aren't the same as before. You're sharper, wiser, more prepared. Persistence is the alchemy that turns suffering into strength. While others fold under pressure, you rise because you've conditioned yourself to endure. Persistence also creates belief. At first, you may not even trust yourself. You might doubt your ability, question your path, and wonder if it's all worth it. But the more you persist, the more evidence you build that you are capable. That belief becomes armor, and soon nothing shakes it. You stop fearing obstacles because you know you'll outlast them. You stop doubting yourself because your persistence has already proven you can withstand more than you once thought possible. Persistence doesn't just change what you achieve, it changes who you are. Think of the strongest people you admire. None of them are defined by quitting. They are defined by persistence. The athlete who trained for years through injuries, the entrepreneur who endured countless failures before building an empire, the soldier who refused to break under unimaginable pressure. All of them were transformed by persistence. Their greatness wasn't handed to them. It was forged in the fires of endurance. And that's the beauty of persistence. It doesn't discriminate. Anyone, anywhere, at any time can choose to persist. You don't need special talent, perfect timing, or favorable circumstances. All you need is the decision to keep going when everything in you wants to quit. Quitting cuts your story short. Persistence writes the ending you deserve. The hardest truth about quitting is that you will never know how close you were. You could have been one more attempt away, one more step away, one more sleepless night away from breakthrough. But you'll never find out because quitting slams the door shut forever. Persistence, however, ensures that breakthrough will come, not always when you expect it, not always how you imagine it, but inevitably if you refuse to stop. Life is not about how easy the path is, it's about who you become while walking it. Quitting leaves you the same as you were, sometimes weaker, often more bitter. Persistence leaves you transformed, powerful, and unshakable. You may not always win the prize you had in mind, but you will always win the growth, the discipline, the strength that comes from enduring. And in the end, that's worth more than any outcome. So when you feel like quitting, when the pain feels unbearable, when the obstacles tower above you, remind yourself, quitting guarantees regret. Persistence guarantees transformation. If you quit, you'll spend a lifetime wondering what could have been. If you persist, you'll rise into the person you were always meant to be. One path is haunted by regret, the other crowned by transformation. The choice is yours, and it will define your life. Respect is earned through resilience. People may admire beauty, envy wealth, or notice talent, but true respect, the kind that lasts, the kind that is spoken about when you're not in the room, comes only from resilience. It comes from the ability to stand tall when the world tries to break you. Respect is never given freely. It is not handed out like charity. It is carved into your reputation by the battles you survive and the storms you endure without collapsing. Anyone can shine in moments of ease. Anyone can appear strong when life is comfortable, but when the walls close in, when the odds stack against you, when your spirit is tested and you refuse to break, that is when respect is born. Resilience is not just about surviving, it's about refusing to surrender your will no matter how many times you get knocked down. People respect the one who bends but doesn't break, the one who falls but keeps standing back up. We don't admire the undefeated because perfection doesn't inspire us. We admire the scarred warrior who kept fighting even when the blood, the tears, and the weight of the world told them to quit. That is what resilience is. Strength forged in the fire of adversity, unshaken by failure, unbroken by pain. And it is precisely this resilience that earns respect because it proves something rare: you cannot be destroyed. Think about the individuals whose names echo through history. They weren't respected because life was easy for them. They were respected because life was brutally hard, yet they endured. Leaders who held their ground during wars, visionaries who fought through endless rejection, creators who refused to quit despite being mocked and doubted. These are the people remembered with reverence. And their resilience gave them credibility, their resilience built their legacy, and their resilience commanded respect. Even their enemies had to acknowledge them, not because they liked them, but because they couldn't ignore their unyielding will. Respect follows resilience, because resilience is proof of character. Wealth can be inherited, fame can be bought, and talent can fade, but resilience cannot be faked. It is revealed in the darkest nights, in the heaviest battles, in the loneliest struggles. You can't pretend to be resilient. You either endure or you don't. That authenticity is why people respect it. They see resilience and they know this person has suffered, has been tested, and still stands unbroken. That's real power, and respect gravitates toward real power. Resilience also inspires others. When someone watches you refuse to give up, even when everything is stacked against you, it awakens something in them. They see their own struggles reflected in yours, and your resilience becomes a spark for their own strength. Respect grows not just from your survival, but from the way your survival proves to others that they too can endure. You become a mirror, showing them what is possible when resilience becomes a way of life. People respect not only what you overcame, but also the courage you show by continuing when quitting was the easier option. But here's the truth many avoid. Resilience is painful. It requires sacrifice. It requires suffering. It requires walking through nights of doubt, swallowing failure, carrying loneliness, and enduring battles most will never see. That's why it's respected, because few have the heart to bear it. Many fold under pressure. Many hide behind excuses. Many run from hardship. But when you don't, when you stand and fight, it sets you apart. Resilience becomes a mark of distinction, a signal that you belong to a rare breed of humans who cannot be defeated. That rarity is why respect attaches itself to you. Look at any field, athletics, business, art, leadership, and the pattern is the same. The ones who earn respect are not the ones who merely started strong, but the ones who refused to stop when everything fell apart. The athlete who trains after a devastating injury, the entrepreneur who rebuilds after going bankrupt, the artist who keeps creating after rejection, these people command respect because they embody resilience. Their willpower becomes undeniable and respect cannot help but follow. Respect through resilience also extends beyond public achievements. Even in everyday life, resilience sets you apart. The parent who fights through exhaustion to give their children a better life, the student who refuses to quit despite overwhelming obstacles, the worker who continues to push forward despite being overlooked. These people may not be in history books, but in their circles, they are deeply respected. Why? Because resilience is universally recognized as strength. People know what it feels like to struggle, so when they witness someone who endures without breaking, it resonates. Respect is born from that recognition. Understand this. People may like you for your kindness. They may admire your skills, they may enjoy your company, but they will respect you only if you prove you cannot be broken. Resilience makes people stand a little taller when they speak your name. It makes them remember you long after you leave. It makes even your rivals hesitate because deep down they know resilience means you will always return stronger, no matter how many times you fall. So do not chase respect by begging for it, by demanding it, or by seeking validation. Earn it through resilience. Let your endurance, your refusal to break, and your ability to rise from every defeat speak louder than words ever could. Because in the end, respect doesn't come from appearances or possessions. It comes from resilience, from the proof that you are unshakable. And once you earn that kind of respect, it cannot be taken away. Strength is built in suffering, not comfort. Comfort is a warm blanket, a soft pillow, a safe zone where nothing challenges you. It feels good in the moment, but it keeps you weak. Comfort lulls you into stagnation, convincing you that you are fine the way you are, that there is no need to push harder, no need to suffer. But the truth is, nothing grows in comfort. Muscles don't grow unless they are torn. Wisdom doesn't arrive unless mistakes are made. True power doesn't form unless you've been broken and forced to rebuild. Suffering is the furnace where strength is forged, and only those willing to step into ever discover what they are truly capable of. Think about the strongest people you know, the ones whose presence demands respect. They didn't become that way by living soft, easy lives. They became strong because they faced suffering head on. They endured heartbreak, betrayal, loss, rejection, failure, and nights of pure struggle. They kept moving when their bodies wanted to quit, when their minds screamed for relief, when everything seemed unfair. Strength was not handed to them, it was earned in the relentless grind of suffering. Each moment of pain became a brick in the fortress of their character, each scar a reminder of battles won. Comfort, on the other hand, deceives you. It tells you that avoiding suffering is the goal, that peace and ease are all you need. But comfort is a liar. Stay in comfort long enough and you grow soft. Your spirit dulls, your discipline fades, your hunger dies. Comfort robs you of resilience, because resilience can only be built when you are tested. And without resilience, life will eventually crush you. Because no matter how much you try to avoid it, suffering will come. Pain will come. Struggle will find you. The only question is, will you be ready? If you spent your life in comfort, you won't be. But if you've built your strength in suffering, you'll face it with unshakable power. Suffering teaches you what no book, no classroom, no mentor can teach. It strips you down to your core, exposes your weaknesses, and forces you to confront them. You learn discipline when you force yourself to keep going despite exhaustion. You learn patience when progress comes painfully slow. You learn courage when fear stands in your way and you move anyway. These lessons cannot be learned in a life of comfort. Comfort protects you from them, but it also prevents you from ever reaching your full potential. Look at history's greatest warriors, leaders, and innovators. Their strength was not born in luxury. It was carved through years of struggle. Soldiers hardened by war, entrepreneurs hardened by failure, leaders hardened by adversity. All of them were molded by suffering. They didn't run from it. They embraced it, knowing it was the price of greatness. Their comfort zones were shattered, and in those moments of suffering, their strength was revealed. They became unbreakable because they had been broken before and rebuilt themselves stronger each time. Suffering also gives you perspective. When you've walked through darkness, you appreciate the light. When you've known hunger, you value food. When you've felt loneliness, you treasure real connection. Comfort blinds you to gratitude, but suffering opens your eyes. And that perspective adds to your strength because it keeps you grounded, disciplined, and focused on what truly matters. The process of building strength through suffering is brutal, but it's honest. Every drop of sweat, every tear, every sleepless night, it all adds up. You may not see the results immediately, but suffering leaves marks inside you, silently shaping your character. One day you wake up and realize you can endure what once crushed you, that you are calm under pressure, that you are unshaken by storms that once terrified you. That is the gift of suffering, the transformation of weakness into strength, of fear into courage, of doubt into belief. But here's the harsh truth. Most people will avoid suffering at all costs. They'll choose comfort again and again, and they'll wonder why they feel unfulfilled, weak, and restless. Deep inside, they know the truth. They have not been tested. And a life untested is a life unlived. Without suffering, there is no proof of strength, no evidence of resilience, no depth of character. That's why when you see someone who has endured suffering and risen from it, you can't help but respect them. Their strength is real, forged in fire, not fabricated in ease. If you want to become strong, stop chasing comfort. Step willingly into discomfort. Choose the hard road, the challenging task, the struggle that most avoid. Push your body, stretch your mind, confront your fears. It will hurt. It will break you at times. But each time you survive it, you grow. Each time you endure it, you rise. And over time, suffering will stop feeling like punishment. It will feel like the pathway to the strength you've always wanted. Strength is built in suffering, not comfort. If you want to stand tall in this world, if you want to be respected, if you want to be unshakable, you must be willing to suffer. Not once, not occasionally, but continuously. Because suffering never stops, and neither does growth. Let others chase comfort. Let others hide from pain. You must choose suffering, because suffering is where strength is born. And strength is what will carry you through every storm life throws your way. No matter how hard it gets, become harder. Life will not soften itself for you. The world will not stop throwing storms at your door simply because you're tired, broken, or on your knees. Pain doesn't pause, obstacles don't wait, and time never slows down. Every single day, you are in a fight, whether it's for your dreams, your survival, your family, or your own sanity. And in that fight, weakness will betray you. Complaining won't save you. Wishing for an easier road won't change a thing. The only solution is to become harder than the challenges you face, stronger than the weight you carry, more relentless than the suffering that hunts you. Hardship is not a sign you are failing. It is proof that you are alive and in the arena. Every time life gets harder, it's not to break you, but to demand a higher version of you. If you stay soft, if you surrender, the world will eat you alive. But if you become harder, if you sharpen yourself like steel, you'll rise above what was meant to crush you. Hard times don't ask for permission. They come like a storm. And storms do not respect weakness. They only respect those who refuse to bend, those who plant their feet in the ground and declare, "You will not move me." Becoming harder does not mean becoming heartless. It means becoming unshakable. It means training your mind to endure what once broke you. It means teaching your body to push past its limits, teaching your spirit to rise when it's drowning in darkness. Hard times test everything: your patience, your faith, your discipline, your courage. And every test is a chance to evolve. If you want to rise, you cannot avoid the test. You must face it, you must outlast it, you must look pain in the eyes and say, "I will not quit, you cannot break me." The truth is, life will always get harder. You will lose people you love. You will fail at things you thought were certain. You will face rejection, humiliation, and betrayal. And in those moments, you will have two choices: collapse or harden. Collapse, and the world will bury you without a second thought. Harden, and the world will have no choice but to respect you. Hard times are not the end. They are the beginning of transformation. Every scar is a reminder that you endured what others could not. Every bruise is a mark of resilience. Every sleepless night survived is a medal of strength. But this is where most people go wrong. They pray for life to get easier instead of praying to get stronger. They beg for relief instead of demanding resilience from themselves. That mindset is weakness, and weakness will destroy you. Because no matter how much you hope, life will never stop being hard. So you must stop wishing for ease and start preparing for war. Train yourself to endure the suffering. Teach yourself to smile at the struggle. Let your pain sharpen you instead of break you. When you learn to embrace hardship, you become unstoppable, because nothing the world throws at you can scare you anymore. Think about steel. Steel is not born strong. It becomes strong through fire, through heat, through relentless pressure. That same process applies to you. You are not born unbreakable. You become unbreakable by enduring the fire of life. Every challenge you face is the fire. Every loss, every failure, every heartbreak is the heat. And with each trial, you become harder, sharper, and more dangerous to anything that tries to destroy you. Comfort won't do this for you. Avoiding pain won't do this for you. Only facing life head on, no matter how brutal it gets, will transform you. Becoming harder also means refusing to let emotions control you. Fear will scream, doubt will whisper, pain will demand you quit. But you must not listen. You must silence weakness with action. You must teach your mind that feelings are irrelevant when the mission is survival, when the mission is victory. Discipline must replace emotion. Persistence must replace doubt. And resilience must replace fear. That is how you become harder, by choosing to act, even when everything in you wants to run. And understand this: people respect those who endure. They admire those who become harder in the face of trials, because most cannot do it. Most fold, most hide, most cry for help and give up when life turns dark. But when you refuse, when you stare into the abyss and take another step forward, you stand apart. You become an example, a symbol of resilience, a force that cannot be ignored, and respect follows because people cannot deny strength they cannot break. So when life gets harder, and it will, don't complain. Don't ask for mercy. Don't wait for someone to save you. Save yourself by becoming harder. Strengthen your body, discipline your mind, and fortify your soul. Be the person who does not collapse when the weight doubles, who does not quit when the pain deepens, who does not shatter when the world says it's over. Become so hard that no force can bend you, no trial can stop you, no suffering can defeat you. No matter how hard it gets, become harder, because the world respects strength, not excuses. And when you choose to harden yourself against every obstacle, you become something untouchable. You become unstoppable. In the end, life is not about how easy the path was, but about how unshakable you became while walking it. The truth is simple. Storms will come, failures will come, losses will come, but none of them define you unless you let them. What defines you is your response. Do you collapse under the weight, or do you rise stronger? Do you surrender to weakness, or do you forge yourself into someone unbreakable? The choice is always yours. Every scar you carry can either be a reminder of defeat or a medal of survival. Every moment of pain can either break you or build you, and the difference lies only in your decision to keep moving forward no matter how hard it gets. So when the nights feel endless, when your chest is heavy with doubt, when everything inside you screams to quit, remember this: you were not built for surrender. You were built for resilience. You were built to endure. You were built to conquer. No matter how hard it gets, become harder, because the world bows to those who cannot be broken, and your legacy will not be written in comfort. It will be written in the battles you refused to lose.